A lot of people say that taking the first step is admitting and realizing you have a problem, but what's the step after that? What do you do when you've acknowledged that you do have a problem and you know you need help? What do you do? In my personal opinion, and what worked for me, was telling people that I knew loved me. Telling them I have a problem, I know that I have a problem, and I need help. You really need a community when you get sober. It really does take a village. It is something that you can do for yourself, but it's not something you can do solely by yourself. Because these people care about you and they love you, they're going to be brainstorming ideas and things that they can do to help you. Depending on your living situation, your life, your setup, what's going on, who you live with, if you have any dependents, if you don't, if you have a spouse, you'll end up coming up with a plan to stop the substance abuse and withdraw from it safely. Whether it's a detox center, maybe you're not having physical withdrawals, you just know you're abusing alcohol and you want to get away from it. The thing about addiction is that it is a sickness, it's a disease. So if you are sick and you keep that a secret, no one can help you. It's the expression, your secrets keep you sick. The first step for me was telling those that I loved and those that I knew loved me that I was getting sober. The next step was getting rid of everything in my house that was alcohol related. Shot glasses, wine openers, wine bottles as decor. My entire kitchen was wine themed. I put the whole lot on Facebook and sold it. Next is preparing and getting ready for your new life. Whether you're a homebody or not, your home is where you're going to feel the most comfortable and the most safe. So if there's a particular spot or routine that you would follow when it pertains to your drinking, you're immediately going to make action to change that routine. If there's a chair that you sat in and drank every single evening, you're going to rearrange the room. You're going to sell that furniture. You're going to replace that furniture, or you're just going to throw it out. You're going to pull things from your past that used to define who you are. For me, that was like drawing in a sketchbook and writing poetry. Those things are free. I have a lot of time on my hands now, just as you will when you first get sober. Maybe it's working out, maybe it's sport, maybe it's dancing, maybe it's some kind of craft, maybe it's cooking. And you're going to fully dive headfirst into that hobby and submerge yourself into that hobby. And while you're doing that, you're going to explore new hobbies. I guarantee there's something that you'd always dreamed that you would do or that you always wanted to accomplish. For me, that was learning to play piano. I still don't know how to play piano, but I bought one and I tried. Depending on your finances and what situation you're in. For me, I had a lot of legal fees to pay. I got another job and I was working a lot. Being an addict is a full-time job, so you're going to have a lot of time on your hands. So getting a second job really helped me not only be able to pay those fines and meet those legal fees, but it also took up a lot of my time. DoorDashing, Instacarting, part-time job at a pizza place, all good options. For me, I could never go back to waitressing because I couldn't be around the alcohol. I also could never work at a gas station again because that's where I bought the majority of my alcohol. So you want to make sure that you're doing things that are conducive to the new lifestyle that you're going to be building for yourself. Always suggest therapy. But the job that I had at the time didn't have any benefits and I absolutely had no extra funds to dispense into therapy. I eventually was able to afford that and got therapy. I started prioritizing myself, so I hadn't been to the dentist in years. I eventually was able to afford that and go. The damage wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was. Same with the doctor. I'd never had a doctor before. I was able to figure that out and get a doctor and get doctor's appointments set out, figure out my health. When I was going through withdrawal, we decided to do it at home, and we didn't know that my withdrawal was going to be that bad because the people around me didn't know how bad my drinking actually was. They knew I was abusing it, but they didn't know to the extent that I was abusing it. So none of them were prepared for the withdrawal that I was going to go through. I actually had a severe concussion and extreme brain fog. I was nothing but tired, but after my mom talked to me on the phone one day, she was like, you absolutely need to go to the hospital. And it was something I couldn't recognize in myself because I was just so sleepy for the first week, but she knew something was wrong and she took me to the hospital. If I hadn't told anyone that I was getting sober, no one would have known that I was going through withdrawal. I also wouldn't have had anyone to lean on when I was having a rough day. I deleted all my DoorDashing apps, anything that I could possibly order alcohol. I didn't step foot in a gas station for 3 months straight. I couldn't pay at the pump. I went to a different gas station. The hospital could see that I was in active withdrawal and they gave me a taper medication for it was 5 or 7 days, I think. I don't remember the name of that medication and I'm not a doctor, so I don't think it's conducive for me to remember what it was anyway. There are common medications that are used, but regardless, your situation, your weight, your height, your age, your income, your consumption are all going to affect what is prescribed to you to help you, if anything, if it's needed. Once you have determined that you're going to get sober and you actually put forth the effort into embracing the new life that's going to come and really putting effort into changing that life for yourself, you're so busy building who you want to be and who you've always wanted to be that you have no time to think about who you were, where you went, or who you hung out with. Eventually you do, and that catches up to you, and you get kind of lonely, and you'll grieve that in therapy for sure. I got addicted to how good I felt sober, and I'm wishing and hoping the same for you and anyone else that's struggling and watching this video. I felt better sober than I'd ever felt in my entire life. I felt capable of more than I'd ever known possible. I didn't even know that I had the capacity to feel that immense gratitude and feel that great. And that really fueled my desire to keep going. I ended up working at a rehab later on where I learned a lot. TikTok was my personal sense of community, but it doesn't have to be yours. There are many, many, many programs that are free to attend. Churches, NA, AA, online group, online forum, Facebook group, virtual classes, all of that. And I know this video is really long, but I just wanted to try to give as many tips and tricks as I can. I do have a sobriety playlist where I go through all of that. There are a lot of videos there where I talk about just different things I've experienced in sobriety, and I had been documenting my sobriety since day 3 on TikTok. So there really is every step of my journey and what that looks like and how that felt for me. I hope this helps, and if you have any more questions, please do not hesitate to ask. No matter who you are, let me know, because I will absolutely try to help in the best way that I can.